Today we're going to be talking about one of the latest IELTS questions. These IELTS questions are used in the exams from March until August 2023. A lot of students worry about using the right kind of vocabulary, but you don't need to worry too much about that because there are so many topics and you just can't learn vocabulary that would be brilliant for all those topics in a short amount of time. What you need is strategy. So today we'll be looking at strategies for the part 2 of the speaking, which is the long answers. So you have to speak for around 1 to 2 minutes. And this is a great place that you can show some really good grammar, vocabulary, and paraphrasing skills using some simple strategies. So the question today is, talk about a daily routine that you enjoy, and you'll need to talk about what it is, when you do it, and how it makes you feel and why it's important. Now, in the exam, you'd have 1 minute to prepare this answer. So today I'm going to give you my Band 9 answer. And yeah, hopefully you could learn some strategies that you could apply to this question and other part 2 questions also. So, your time begins now. That's for me. I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I do every day that I like. As for what it is, the daily activity that I really love is going for a walk in the morning. I usually try to get out for my walk around 6 a.m. before starting my work for the day. Now, I'm lucky enough to live in a pretty scenic area, so there are some absolutely stunning walking trails nearby. I love going along the coast or through the woods, listening to the birds and taking in all the natural beauty around me. For me, it's a great way to start the day, and it clears my mind and energizes me for the day ahead. I also find that it's a nice way to disconnect from technology and just focus on being present and in the moment. In terms of how it makes me feel, well, I guess I'm more calm and centered because of it. It's a simple thing, but it makes a big difference in my overall well-being. It's an easy routine that you can do anywhere, even if I'm traveling or away from home. It's a habit that has definitely made a positive impact on my life. So there you go. As you can see, some of those yellow highlighted phrases are some strategies that I teach to students to help them start their part 2 speaking, and you could use that for most part 2 answers. So I really like it because it helps you to use pronunciation strategies. So I'm going to talk, you say I'm gonna talk a little bit about, not a little bit about, a little bit about. That shows some nice linking sounds that you can get in there, and also work on your intonation. So that shows your good pronunciation features. As for what it is, that's a nice way to start talking about one of those bullet points. And in terms of how, so that's another way that you can start to talk about one of those bullet points. And I like those 2 ways because it's complex grammar and it also just sounds quite natural, and it's a way to structure your speaking easily without having to think too much. Let's move on to some collocations. So these are some of the collocations. So collocations just means vocabulary, or it could be simple vocabulary that just naturally goes together. And that shows that you're at a high level of English if you use words that naturally go together, even if they sound quite simple. Sometimes they're better than very complicated words, like scenic area. Scenic and area, they're not very complicated words, but they just go together. Or absolutely stunning. Something that's very, very, very beautiful is absolutely stunning. Taking in all the natural beauty. Taking in means the idea of, oh yeah, you're really there and you're thinking about it, you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're feeling it, you're taking in all the natural beauty. You can also take in information, or you can take in a scene. You can take in a scene in a cafe or in a city. Disconnect from technology. Again, a phrase that goes together quite nicely, 2 words that go together nicely. So usually we use screens far too much. I know I use the internet and looking at PowerPoints and technology all day. So to disconnect is to not look at it. To feel calm and centered. Calm, obviously, you're relaxed, and centered means you don't feel out of balance. You don't feel very angry or very mad or very stressed. You're centered. And to make a positive impact. Again, these are all words that are very easy, but they are collocations because the words go together. It made a positive impact. So it has made a positive impact on my life. And I like that phrase at the end because it's a good way to show that you can use the present perfect tense. It has made a positive impact on my life. Last of all, grammar. Let's look at this. So those ones in pink, they show all ways that, or some of the ways where I've used complex sentence structures. So as I talked about before, the as for what it is, and in terms of how, over here, those are nice phrases because it shows that you can use complex structures, and also this way to introduce the topic you're talking about. If you have before and an ing verb, that's a complex structure. Remember that you need to use another verb in that sentence as well. So before bobbing, I like before having my coffee in the morning, I take a shower. Or before going to work, I get dressed. Those are complex structures. And also this is a nice one at the end. So if you can use lots of subordinating conjunctions like if, that's a nice easy one to use and show that you have a range of structures. So I hope that some of that might have been helpful. Strategies for Part 2 speaking are great, but what you also need are phrases that can improve your fluency really quickly. And to get those, you're going to need to watch this next video up here.